Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, right? All right, let's have some fun today. So, where to begin? Where to begin? So, Rhino bot, I did get a message last night, and of course, I'm sleeping by 9 o'clock. So the message came in at 10, 11, something like that, that it is up, but it's not live. So it's for me to go test, and then if it's working, to allow it to go live, which is super cool. Because again, we had it live and I tested it, and by like the seventh message, it fumbled, meaning this version should be far better than that one, and far better could be the solution, right? So I'm cautiously optimistic, and it's kind of like I got to get myself ready to do it, right? So we have this live, obviously. Yeah, me too, Frida. Thank you. We have this live, obviously. I have a 10:30 call, I have 11 call, and then I have the 12 call with our team. Hey, Deb. So I don't know when I'll get to it because I still have to get to all my emails as well. So I'm kind of jam packed for the next couple of hours. And then I have a 3 o'clock call. So during the day, how much will I get done? But I will test that. Also, events. I was told the 1.0 version is done and it's being put up on our staging site where we could test it. Like, hey, Andrew, we can test it and then push live. So I believe today we'll be able to push RhinoBot live and we'll be able to push events live, which is super cool. That's that. Rhino Bucks. As you would have seen, there was a sizable sell yesterday of like $580. As you would have seen if you inspected it, you would have seen that it came out of my wallet, which is so I have two wallets. One is like the major one that has all the coin in it, and the other one is our we call it the staging wallet. It's one that we leave 10,000 coin in so that if anything, God forbid, ever happened, we're constantly making sure that we don't put all of Rhino at danger. It would just be that 10,000 coin, which right now I think is down to 4,500. Okay. I want to so first the individual that wanted to sell is like this super nice guy. Like he's like an older gentleman. He never got a wallet. He's been investing the whole time. And something came up where he was on the phone with me about a week ago. Aunt, how do I redeem some of this? I have a big bill I need to pay. And I was like, oh, I could help you. You get your wallet and all of that. And he's like, I really don't know how to do that. Like, and Rhino's always going to be there, right? So what I said to the gentleman was, well, in explaining it, well, you're also going to have a wallet that has your bank account connected to it. A lot of people choose to have Coinbase because it's an American company, and it's a New York Stock Exchange company, so it has to be regulated. Blah blah blah. Hey, Rick. And he goes, well, I actually have a Coinbase, and it's connected to my wallet, connected to my bank account. I go, oh, that's great. So now you just need to grab a wallet on Trust or MetaMask. And I go, actually, you know what? Realizing that this is going to be super difficult for this individual, and that's not who we are. We want to make sure that we take care of everyone. So I offered, why don't we just send it directly to your Coinbase account? Because you never had a wallet, so you don't have any coin at all, which means we can start from step one. We owe you, so we can send it any way we want to wherever you want. I go, how about we send it as Bitcoin to your Coinbase wallet, in which case you could go ahead and sell it immediately, and it'll go right to your bank account. And the gentleman was like, yeah, that would be awesome. And I was like, okay, cool. Then after he emailed me yesterday, and then I realized in doing so, we didn't have the funds on hand, which meant we would have to sell from Rhino, which is the same thing because essentially, if he had the Rhino, he would have sold, right? So in lieu of that, obviously, if we had the funds on hand, I'd rather just send it and leave Rhino untouched. But that would actually, I don't want to say dishonest, but that wouldn't, the volume wouldn't be measured, right? And we have this big algorithm, so it just worked out better. So we sold it on his behalf and sent it over. The reason I share all this with you is because there are things in this industry, and again, Rhino's always going to be teaching despite, it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde, right? Like Jekyll would purposely lock himself in a basement because he knew Hyde was a bad person. What Rhino attempts to do is not only share with you how to identify someone good versus someone bad, but also I want to be in a room where everyone is the smartest people in the world. So God forbid, ever, 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 there's that little decision where it's like, you know what, I could take the easy way out and just do this and no one would notice, right? And of course, I'm talking about the most like, like even saying that is a bit uncomfortable because it's like people will go, wait, what? I didn't think this about you. I get it, right? My point is, if there was ever a moment, ever, where I was like, I guess take the easy way out real quick. I could cover this by tomorrow. Nobody would notice. I don't even want to be tempted to make that decision. And the only way to not allow yourself to ever be tempted to make that is A, be a good person, right? But secondly, to know that no matter what, everyone would notice it. And again, we're not a blockchain, it's a ledger. Everyone can see everything. So when you see our main wallet selling, you could think one of two things. One, Anthony's selling on behalf of someone because Rhino's just such a nice guy, which sounds silly, but actually that's the truth. Or secondly, oh, he plays a nice guy role, but look, he just sold $600 for himself and thinks nobody would notice, right? So the point of me saying all this is I want to do a share screen with you. And I blocked out the name to protect the identity of this really nice person. But hi, Anthony. As suggested, I created a Coinbase account and added bank information, my BTC address and Coinbase to send to, which, by the way, I could say the address out loud. It's not like the only thing you could do with the address is send him money, right? So if you want to, go for it. So you should be able to send whatever is in my Rhino to that address in Bitcoin, and I will plan to buy it back within 1 to 2 months. Of course, my Rhino subscription is still active. Since this is my first time doing this, I don't know if anything else is needed, but you can let me know, and do let me know when it is sent. So what we did was we sent over a test amount, just $5. The gentleman said he got it, and then we sent the rest over. My point is, everyone should always know everything, and it's always a red flag. It really, really is. If you see the big wallets sell in any company, red flag, red flag. Who? Why is he selling? That should never be sold. That's just the biggest red flag. Everything in the crypto industry. Me knowing how big of a red flag that is, if I was ever in a company where I saw that happen, I'd want an explanation right away. Just because you're not demanding an explanation of me because you're unaware that you deserve an explanation does not allow me to not give you one. So I had that set up and I wanted to show everyone. Okay, so Rhino Bucks will be back at an all-time high probably, I don't know, Sunday, right? Like we'll get it by then. Okay, so that's that. Oh, Twitter. So our Twitter marketing. So we altered it up and changed it up yesterday. So instead of messaging new followers of industry influencers of our industry, being crypto and Dogecoin, because we compare very favorably to them, we instead anyone that influencer took the time to like their message. So now there's a level of engagement. Like if you're a big influencer, you don't like bad stuff. Like everyone knows, everyone's following you, so they see what you do. So if you're a big industry influencer and you go ahead and like something like, I don't know, child pornography is the best, well, that's a real problem. People are gonna say, "Whoa, wait a second, I'm not gonna follow you anymore." Like that's gross, right? And of course, I picked an extreme, but the points being they're highly selective of who they like. Meaning, whoever they like is obviously someone of character, someone of value. So we're like, you know what? Let's just message those people directly. We brought in 610 visitors to our webinar sign up page, and only 3 signed up. In fact, as of today, I believe 171 have come to that webinar sign up page, and only 1 has signed up. So there's 2 things going on. One, I think we need to go back to the webinar sign up page and make it a little better, right? Like it's just not converting like we'd like to, but we don't know if it's not converting because the traffic that we're bringing is really poor, right? Like we're messaging people out of nowhere, giving them personalized messages, yes, telling them to come check this out. So be that as it may, 4 new signups, and that's cool. Like we like that. That's 4 new really good qualified leads. But again, it's still just not enough. So we will retest it. Maybe every person they comment on, or maybe, and I'm really reluctant to do this because I think it's like obvious spam. Every time that influencer says anything, we go ahead and auto comment and be the first comment, which we can do. We have technology to do it. But 2 things happen. One, that influencer now knows it's you, right? Like it's not a secret. You're posting on their feed over and over again, in which case they're not going to look at you favorably. And they might actually just even block you because they don't like that. So now that I've said that out loud, there's really no reason for us to ever do that. Again, I just have to say it out loud sometimes. Because as I'm going through my options, I'm like, oh, and maybe we'll do this. I don't really want to do it, but move on. And you don't stop and think why you don't want to do it until you sit down and explain it out loud. And then you realize that's a really bad idea. So we will figure that out. I believe with our affiliates, we have a strong affiliate team. We have like 190 people signed up for our affiliate program. There is room there to go ahead and work with the team. Like if Rhino had enough resources, we'd hire someone just to be an affiliate manager and just do that, like stay on top of it and get everyone to be the best of their ability. Yesterday, we went ahead and added 6 new accounts, which is cool. We're at an all-time high in that, at least 589. And one of the accounts that got added went ahead and purchased a $100 bump up, which is cool, right? And we actually sent that over already. Oh, this is what I want to share. So Rhino email is a cool program, but 2 things. One, a lot of times the individuals that get into Rhino email don't exactly know how to do it as well as we do. Because I do it every day. Like yesterday, I added 7,700 new email addresses. The day before, I added 10,000 new email addresses. And we still have our email platform because we don't get spammed. We know what we're doing. So we have a much greater success. And we kind of look at Rhino email, and people that get into Rhino email are like, oh, great. Like, I'm in internet marketing. I could add a couple thousand new emails a day. Great. And some of the people in Rhino email are really well versed. They know how to go ahead and segment the list and separate openers from clickers and blah, blah, blah. We don't add all those emails to our email every day. In fact, we allow our emailer to refresh. So for instance, if I add 10,000 new emails today, I'm not adding another 7,000 tomorrow, because the reason I'm able to add 10,000 emails is because we have a very large email list. Therefore, of those 10,000, if X amount, spam us or something, it's that percentage over the overall size of our email address, our email list. So say 1% spam us, which is 100 times too high, right? Like these people will kick you off if it's 0.01. But we also have 100,000 that actually open our emails and like us. So now it's that 0.01%. The point being, there is a lot of room for something we do regularly that others are signing up for the platform that are wishing that they were able to do. So it started dawning on me, and I'm going to think out loud because this might be a good idea or a bad idea, right? I'm thinking in raising Rhino email, I guess we'll make a sister program to be $5, maybe even $10 a week, because what this new program will offer is that rather than you having to do any of this stuff, we're just going to do it on our own behalf and send you an email list that's only yours. So say, for instance, we have 100 people that take this. Well, it wouldn't be 100. Let's say, for instance, there's like 30 people. That's 50-50. That's fair. Let's say there's 50 people that are like, yeah, I would love that. That would be super, super cool. Now, say, for instance, we go ahead and aggregate 8,000 new emails in a given day. Okay. So 8,000 divided by 50 is what? Like 400? Okay. So is this program worth $10 if I send you 400 emails that we're sending only to you, that the only thing we could tell you about them is that they're active, they will be delivered, and I guess we'd have to come up with more information where we got them, right? Like they're from the UK circus list, right? In which case you would know how to approach them. And we would do this multiple times in a week. So let's say we commit to doing it 3-4 times a week. So theoretically, we would send you, say, almost 2,000 emails every single week that are active, will be delivered, and we'll give you some information, as much as we can get, where they're coming from. And I see the dilemma I have with this is, are we taking other people's information and making money on it? Because essentially, we don't agree with doing that. Like, that's not cool. But 2 things. If the money that's being made is going into something that's going to eventually help everyone, and we're not stealing the information, we're simply finding it because it's public, and we're sharing it with someone, telling them where it comes from and how to approach them, then essentially anyone could do it. So it's not like we're telling a secret or taking something. We're essentially just saying, there it is. You want this. We know how to get it. How about we just go like this? Make sure you treat them right. This is how you do it. Because also, if anyone just mistreats these individuals, well, then we have a problem, right? Like we'll cut you off immediately. So I think there's enough guardrail in it for us to feel comfortable to do it. Um, but I don't know. So I'm gonna think that a little bit more through. But if I could go ahead and create a $10 a week program that everyone is happy with, and I'm only saying this because we have a $1 a week program that everyone's happy with, but this is what they're asking for. Not violating interest. Thank you, Maurice. Okay, and for those that don't have the pleasure of knowing Maurice like I do, he's really, really well versed in exactly what I'm talking about. So I appreciate that. Thank you. That actually means a lot. So okay, so that's that. Also, I sent out a Rhino Wealth email earlier. I think just seeing Maurice's name reminds me of Rhino Wealth. The stock that we had researched has gone down again. That's not the breaking news, right? The breaking news is we select 20 red and green as being a 91% success rate for us. I don't have the numbers for what I'm about to say, but I can tell you a 21 red and green is a much higher success rate. Maybe 93, 94%, right? I've never seen anything go over 24 red and green. That was CSV and UNP about 2 years ago. And the thing is and for those that don't know what I'm talking about, the number is an exhaustion metric. So the higher that number goes, conceivably, the more coiled spring it is. And then it just flies when it gets let go because it's so exhausted going in one direction. So obviously 21 is higher than 20 and 22 is higher than 21, et cetera, et cetera. The point being, we sent out an email today to those in Rhino Wealth and sharing that with them, letting everyone know it's their decision to make. We personally are going to stick with this because we have a whole month for it to work out. And I've been in this position before. But there could be losses that make people uncomfortable. So they have to make that decision. We only manage our own money. But secondly, for anyone that did not get in, you could look at it one of two ways. Either one, Anthony, you've been wrong. You bought at 19, it's now 21, which means you're down 2 days in a row. And in the stock market, there's the word wrong and there's the word early. Neither word can you denote until you know the outcome, right? So what's the difference? Well, if we're wrong, it means it's going to keep going down. We're wrong. We lost money. If it springboards higher than anyone could ever believe, then we were simply early. But you don't know that determination till the event happens. So what we're sharing is we believe we're early. Meaning, if anyone was so inclined to ever get into the stock market, you would be purchasing a 21 red and green, which again is 92, 93, 94% success rate. I don't know the numbers, but it's higher than 91. And you'd be purchasing at a 30% discount than where I purchased from. So essentially it's like, oh, Anthony is, he's usually right with this stuff because he has the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. Well, if I could buy what he buys, but get a 30% head start, do I think I would be profitable? Well, the answer would have to be, do I think Anthony would be profitable? And if you say yes, well, then you would be at least 30% profitable. Or if you say, no, I don't think he'd be profitable. Okay, well, how much do you think he would lose? I don't know, maybe 10, 15%. You'd still be profitable by 15, 20%, right? So it gives anyone the opportunity. I bought again, that's more in the money and further out. Okay, cool. That's awesome. In fact, I actually bought the 165s that were 1 week later after I wrote the email. So just further out and then not in the money, though. I'm more out of the money because I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But the point being, and I'm going to share it with everyone, and then I'm going to let you go because I have two calls, 10:30 and 11 o'clock. HTTPS www.rhinowealth.us. And it's options, so you have to be approved for options. If you're just into stocks, you can buy the stock too, but options is kind of where the juice comes from. If you're interested, the confirmation email will give it to you right away. And like I said, that's the setup for today, which I just think, and this, you can never say anything's free money or certainty. Like it's a stock market, you can't do that. But knowing what I know, if I knew what I knew when I was on that side, I would do it, right? If you can send the email info again, that would be great. Send the email in. Rick, for what? The Rhino Welt? Are you in it? Because I could just email you directly after. I could message you directly. Um, email us. Oh, okay. So I didn't make it yet. That's something that I wanted to share and see what kind of feedback I got. It's been positive, so I'm going to do it. I have to make a page for that, make a lander for it, make a pay link for it, and then set up the automations for it. So it's a process. But I would like to get that out. And our email today goes out at 4 p.m. And I would think that would be a good 4 p.m. email. I think we could kind of make some noise with that. And remember, if we get 30 people to sign up, and of course we're going to do a 14-day free because that's what we do, right? We like doing that. But if we could get 30 people to sign up for 10 a week, that's an extra 300 a month or 300 a week, which comes out to an extra roughly 1,300 a month. And it's like, okay, cool. We're meeting new people that we would have not otherwise have met, and we're bringing everyone into the Rhino fold. Super cool. All right, let me go. I always say let me go like you're keeping me. It's like, Anthony, shut up. Like, I love you. I will see you. We have our next, so our next call is tomorrow, 10 a.m. And then we have the prompt engineering call at 3 p.m. And then our next call after that is Monday, 10 a.m. But our next webinar call for Rhino Bucks is Tuesday, 3 p.m. And by then we're hoping to really build that up a little bit. So, okay, cool. Love everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.